We are live once again with another Canvas live stream. And today I'm joined by our training services team member, Kelly Kitchen, to explore the Canvas training portal, something that we provide to a lot of our customers that I'm so excited that our training team has offered to come in and kind of give you a preview. Kelly Kitchen, one of our fantastic trainers over there on the training services team, our learning services team as well. Just absolutely a fantastic trainer that has a lot of things to show. So many things, in fact. We're running a little bit late this morning to go live because we're trying to get all of the stuff situated, which is fine, not a huge deal. Just under the gun on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of the places. If you are interested in learning more about the training portal, or if you know somebody interested in learning about the training portal, now is a great time to like, share, hit the bell, do all of the things that you might want to do so you are notified next time these live sessions come up. Kelly Kitchen, welcome to the live stream.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
So excited to have you on. We're going to share your screen here and just kind of allow you to present. As I've always said in these presentations, no one needs to see me for the next half hour. So I'm going to duck out, man the chat. If you have questions or comments, please use the chat comments or comment sections inside the platforms that you're watching this on. So whether that be Facebook or YouTube, just make sure you're using those features, and we'll be glad to get to those questions and comments as they come up. Kelly, take it away.
All right. Thanks so much, Eddie. So happy to be here. Like I said, this is really exciting for me. And I'm really excited to talk about the training service portal. We've worked on it a lot in the last couple months to make it easier for you guys to access and kind of make it so that you have everything you need to really learn how to use Canvas in a way that you're utilizing everything that it has available to you. So on the screen here, you'll see I'm just inside a Canvas instance, and we're going to talk in a second about that. But for those of you who are not familiar with the training portal, it's just a place that provides several rich training resources that are going to help you quickly use Canvas. If you're new to Canvas, it introduces you to all the different functions that you might need in order to be successful to use it as an administrator, as an instructional designer, or as a teacher. So let's go ahead and get into it and talk about all the functions. And what we really want to focus on today, I'll kind of go through what the training portal is, but then I want to talk about the changes that we've made recently so that you're familiar with how to use it, especially if it's something you've already used and you notice that it looks a little different than how it looked before. So let's go ahead and just start and talk about how do you log into the training service portal. If it's something new to you, you'll go ahead and get into your instance, and every instance over here has a colored global navigation bar. If you go down here to the very bottom, you should see a little question mark icon with the word help underneath. The training service portal can be accessed through this help button. So if I click on that, you'll see this help window pop up. And in my window, the training services portal is right here at the top. You'll just want to keep in mind that this help menu is actually customizable by your institution. So you might see the training services portal appear somewhere else in this help menu. If you don't see it, there's a chance that your Canvas admin has renamed it to something different specific for your institution. So if you can't see the training services portal, the best thing to do is talk to your Canvas admin to find out where it's going to be located on that help menu. All right, but once we get into that help window, I'm going to click where it says Training Services Portal, and it's going to ask me to authorize. This should only happen the first time that you access the training portal. And once you're in there, just make sure you select that authorize button. It's going to authorize your training account. Give it a second while it's thinking about it. There we go. And so the first thing that some of you will see is this slide deck. This slide deck is a training services portal tutorial. And if I were to click on start that tutorial, it's going to take me through a couple different slides, basically just outlining how you can access what you need to find and how you can register for things to participate in the training options that are available in the training services portal. So you can go ahead and click through these slides. If it's something that you're familiar with and you don't need, you can go to this last circle, click on that, and you can complete it and ask them not to show you this deck again. So
Kelly, sorry, right out the gate, we've got a question that I think we probably want to answer right away. Is this available outside the United States? Great question, by the way.
That is a great question. That's a really good question. I don't know if I've ever had that question before.
Man, right out the gate. Listen, we have an international audience here, and they're all dying to know. So. Yeah,
Um,
I would assume so, but I'm
that
gonna
is
go ahead
like
and
yes. And
I'm gonna go ahead and
so
check.
will
I'm gonna
you
double
double
check
check
with
on
some
that?
people in the background and get back to them. But yes, absolutely. Like
That's great.
we'll make sure that Chris, you get
Most
the
of my
answer to this.
training has been focused in the US, so that's a
Right.
really good question. I'd love to know the answer too. My thought would be that yes, it is, because it should be available to all Canvas clients that we have. But if you could look into that, that would be awesome. All right, so once you go through that tutorial slide deck, if this is the window that you see, if it doesn't take you straight to the learning library, you're going to go ahead and launch that training, and it will take you into Bridge, which is the software where we house this training services portal. And the first thing that you have show up here, you'll have a couple different little tabs here on the top, My Learning, Learning Library, or the Training Calendar. And we'll talk about each one of those, but the Learning Library is where it should default to. And you'll notice that the first thing available to you here is that same slide deck that we saw when we first got into the training portal. So if it's ever something you need to refer back to, if you forget how to do something in the training services portal, you can go ahead and just start that slide deck and review it and go through it again. All right, so once you have that learning library up, this is the place where all the training is going to be available for you to register. It's organized in a very specific way, which we're going to kind of walk through. Some of the training material is going to be free for all of our clients, so keep that in mind that there is going to be something there for everyone. But some aspects of this are only visible to our premium subscription clients or our standard prescription. We have a couple different subscription packages, and I'll go through those really quickly so you're familiar with that. So if your screen looks a little bit different than mine, it might just be that your institution has a different package than what my screen is showing. So these trainings are going to be separated out into live trainings, programs, and courses, as well as portfolio. Before we get into the specifics of the library, though, let's talk about what's free, what's paid, what you have available to you. So there are 3 different subscription packages that your institution could subscribe to. You will only see the content that's available to your institution. So that first package we call the Essential Implementation Package, and that's going to provide unlimited access to the core on-demand training tracks. Those are going to be the programs and courses that we have that are core and basic to training in Canvas, and they are asynchronous. So they're available to you to take those courses at your leisure, whatever works best for you. And those trainings are going to be open to all faculty, your Canvas administrators, as well as the sub-account administrators. Anyone can get on there and take those specific trainings. So for example, some of those things might be a course on how to set up your instance or how to integrate your student information system with Canvas. And there's a separate one for administrators as well as for teachers. It could be a program that goes through how to be first day ready. What are all the things you need to do in Canvas to make sure everything is set? Or it might give you the basics of the new quiz LTI that we have that you can go in and create new quizzes, and it'll walk you through how to create those. So those are just a handful of some of those core on-demand training tracks that we have that you would have access to just for being a Canvas client. Now, the second package is called the Standard Package, and that's going to include everything that you see in the Essential Package, but also some advanced on-demand training titles. And so those are also going to be open to all faculty and administration, but it's going to go more in depth into the things that you might learn about Canvas. So getting past those basic core ideas, you could learn the advanced features of new quizzes. You could talk about the mobile student or teacher app. You can learn how to utilize integrated apps like Google and Microsoft Office and how those interact with Canvas. You could learn about templates and sharing, Canvas for school leadership or for young learners. You could also learn more about course design and accessibility. So there's a ton of new courses that come along with that standard package. Now, the big jump, the big difference is going to be the third and final subscription package, which is called the premium package. And that one's going to include everything that you see in Essential and Standard, as well as our live webinar trainings. So those live trainings are pretty cool because what it allows you to do is actually interact with a trainer. And depending on the amount of people that register for that training, you might have just a handful of people in there, and you have more direct access to the knowledge that the trainer has and what they can share with you. And then it also gives you the chance to collaborate with other Canvas clients across the country. So it's pretty cool. They last 1 hour, they have preset agendas, and they're repeated on a regular basis. So they're available to you to take whenever it works with your schedule. And so now's a good time just to pop back into what we have here. So we're in the learning library, but this third tab up here is the training calendar. If I click on that, this is where I'm going to see those live trainings that are available to register for. You'll see some of those are grayed out because they've already happened, but you can click on any of these to register for them if your institution has the premium subscription package. So just keep in mind that this might not be available to you depending on what your institution has purchased. If it is something that you don't have and you're interested in, talk to your Canvas admin and they can talk to their CSM and see if they can get something set up, because these webinars really are super helpful in terms of what you're able to learn about Canvas and really get your questions answered, because all questions are going to be answered through that chat tool on those live virtual trainings. So
So
a couple of
Kelly, sorry,
yes.
I'm popping in here, and I'm just gonna do that so it doesn't. I hate when we throw up a comment and it blocks people's face off.
Right.
A Penny here from LinkedIn said, that this has given so much promise for teachers' professional learning. They do have the top level, and it was really good investment for them. In fact, they feel like it challenges them to open up more flexible time for teachers to learn on their own, which is a great point that I wanted to get to before we got too far down on the rabbit hole. Also, there were a couple questions in the chat. We were looking earlier into the community guide says, and I'm not sure if the community guide has been updated or not, but I'm waiting on some conversations from some folks if it is US only. But
Okay.
it looks like that other clients outside the US, here's the official answer. Other clients outside the US can opt in if they sign an addendum, because the data warehouse for this training services portal is actually in the US. So that answers the international question. There are some other questions in the chat I'm tracking down answers for. So if we don't get to your question on air, I will try to get them inside the chat as we go through and we get those answered. Thank you very much. I appreciate
That's
it.
good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to stop
Good.
you there, but we'll let you
Anytime.
continue.
And thanks for that tip. Thanks for the shout out about webinars, because I really do feel like they're super helpful for people that take advantage of it and sign up. So if there's a topic that you know you want to learn more about that you are not familiar with, you always have this search bar up here. So instead of having to click on each day, you can actually just type in, maybe you want to learn more about how to build groups in Canvas. So I'm just going to type in group, and I right away see this is one of those that's maybe not offered as often. So I can look at the calendar and quickly notice, with my schedule, which one of these is going to work best. There are some that are offered more often. Maybe if I type in modules, because those are one of those basic core things that you need to know in order to really build a good Canvas course. And you'll see that that's offered pretty often. And so you have your pick of what works for you in your schedule. And to register for those, you'd go ahead and just click on it. And you'll notice that a register pops up there, and it's going to show up in your learning, and you'll be able to, it tells you the time, the date, and you'll get an email to let you know, to make sure that you know how to add yourself to that webinar and attend it. So that is basically what happens with webinars. And it's just, to me, one of those better features that you have available to you through this training services portal. Just to kind of wrap up other things that will help you get the most out of those webinars, I want to show you a couple different, let's see up here. So there are different training paths that are available to you depending on your role. So we have Canvas administrators, instructors, support staff, design and curriculum, non-instructional staff. And then we also like to break it down by your institution, if it's a K-12 institution, a higher ed institution. And this kind of goes through what are some of the things that are recommended to you in terms of live training or those on-demand sessions that is best for you if you don't know where to start. If you're in the training services portal and you're wondering what you should do, where you should start, these training paths are available to you to kind of work through and look at what would be the best thing for me to do in terms of training. For each of the live webinars, there is an agenda. So let's say maybe there's a webinar on assignments and you're kind of like, I'm good with assignments. I think I know everything I need to. You can do a quick view of this agenda and you can look and say, you know what? I've done a lot with assignments, but I don't know how to do weighted groups. So then it might help you know that this webinar could be really helpful to you because it's going to walk you through some of those features that maybe you were not aware of before. So always take a look at those external agendas. Or these session agendas, so that you have a better idea of what's going to be taught, so that it's something that you know is going to be helpful for you. and useful. And then the last thing, just to show you, at the end of each of those live training webinars, you will receive a session resources list. So if you took that assignment webinar, this is one of those lists that you get that have a ton of links. What I love about this is it lets you be super present during those webinars. You don't have to be taking notes. You don't have to be taking screenshots. Like, you can just sit and take in all of the information, ask the questions you have, and then you have this reference list to use if there's something that you forgot that was demonstrated, or if there's something that you want to know more in depth about that was only covered briefly. These links take you places where you can learn more about those specific topics. So super helpful. And this is something that is available to you at the end of each webinar on the topic of the webinar that you attended. So that kind of goes over webinars. Let's see. Next, let's talk about what you can find in the portal. So I just want to show you what it looks like. Get back over here. We'll get back into Bridge. So we were here in the training calendar. Let's get back to the learning library. It's just taking a quick second to load. There we go. So we have that first row, which is the training services portal tutorial. That's that slide deck. And then we talked about those live trainings. So if you have access to the live trainings, that's what comes next. Then I want to talk about programs. Oh, sorry about that. So we talked about how there's two different types of on-demand content. You have core content and you have advanced content. So those trainings are either going to be about a solid basic foundation in the essential Canvas tools. And then the programs are a collection of courses that all have something to do with the same thing. So in the past, those were called learning pathways, but one of the updates we made this year is to call it a program. So once you put yourself in that program, so here's an example. We have Higher Education First Day Ready. So this is going to be a collection of courses that go through step by step everything you should do to make sure your Canvas course is ready to go on that first day. Now, those courses will all be available independently and singly outside of the program if you want, but you'll have programs. And then let me just scroll down here really quick so you can see. And these are those courses broken down independently. So we have courses and we have programs. Now, just as a reminder, the advanced content courses that are available for the standard and premium package, those are additional titles that allow you to move past the foundational tools of Canvas into advanced tools, course design, engagement practices, things like that. So for those who do not wish to commit to an entire program, remember you always can search for the course individually and you can complete it individually. Now, as you complete anything inside of the training services portal, everything comes with a badge. So if you have done a training course before, or a webinar, you know that a badge is something that you receive at the end. So Canvas Training offers digital badges for each training session or course. And so when you attend one of those sessions, you're issued a code to get that badge so you can kind of show off the new knowledge that you have. So it's pretty fun to collect it. Canvas is a partner of Badger, which is what we use to access those badges. If you don't already have a Badger account, when you go to select your first badge after completing a training, an email will prompt you to create your own free account. As long as you have a Canvas account, you have a free Badger account. And so once you're in Badger, you can edit your profile and connect places where you want to share those badges. Some people love connecting them on social networks. You can share things like LinkedIn, or you can also share it with anyone. If your admin wants to see what professional development you've been completing through the Canvas training, you can also show them those badges to show completion of that. Now, on top of the badges, when you complete a set of themed on-demand training courses, you are also issued a certificate that's directly in the training portal. And that is something that can be printed. You can frame it, you can put it on your wall, you can show it off to the world that you completed one of these training courses. All right, so let's start breaking down what is new in the portal. So I'm going to go back here to the portal. Let's go back up to the top. All right, so it used to have something at the top that was called, it's a long name, Canvas Quick Launch Adapting to Online, which was basically just an introduction. And we tried to make that a little bit easier for you by just changing it to that slide deck. So the thing about the training services portal is it's all about making easy access to training for all of our clients. I mean, it's the key feature of the portal is that automatic delivery of courses. So many asynchronous courses so that you can do things at your own speed and on your own time. So because of that, to us, organization is really vital to the effectiveness of the portal. There's a lot of training courses and live webinars in here, and we want it as easy as possible for you to locate what you need. So back in October, we actually sent out a survey to thousands of our clients. We had a huge amount of responses, and going through all of those, it really was overwhelmingly positive in terms of the changes we wanted to make. So it got a facelift back at the end of October, and one of the main things that changed is we separated courses and programs by institution. So after you see that first live trainings row, you're going to get into the higher ed row. And so from here, we've actually separated. It used to be all the programs were just in one place together. Now we've identified which programs are specific to higher education, and we've marked them if you're an admin, if you're an instructor, and support staff. So you have those 2 rows to go through for the programs. The next rows you'll see broken down by K-12 programs. We have K-12 admin, a couple different programs for them to follow through. And then because K-12 is actually pretty diverse, elementary is pretty different than secondary, we've actually broken those programs up by grade level. So you have this grades K through 5 program, and then grades 6 through 12 programs. Now we get into the courses after that, and it's once again divided pretty clearly by institution. So you have higher ed courses for admin, you have higher ed courses for instructors, higher ed courses for instructional designers, and then we get to K-12. So we have K-12 admin, we have K through 5 instructors and support staff, and so on. So you'll see that they're all organized in a way that's supposed to help you find things more quickly. So self-identify, know what type of courses or programs you're looking for, and you can just quickly scroll down to the row, and then you can just browse through these rows. You'll see an arrow over here to the right that just will let you get to all of the ones you need to see. One of the other great updates we made is we changed these course descriptions. They used to be really long and you actually had to get into the details to read about the course. But now as a quick glance, you can see the entire details of what the course is going to cover, and it'll just save you some time and make it easier to navigate as you go through those. You'll notice that the video row has been removed because those are found within the courses anyway. And so you have the Portfolio Network subscription down here, as well as 2 additional trainings on Catalog and on Canvas Studio. So those are the basic changes. It's really just about how things are labeled and organized to make it better for you and easier to access the training that you need. Just to let you know, some of you will have noticed, let's go up here. So we have, oh no, that's not a good one. Let's go into courses. So if I go to courses here, I'm in higher ed courses for admin, and I have a couple different things here. I have SIS integration for Canvas admin. I have Canvas overview for admin. If I go down here to K-12 admin, you're going to see a repeat of some of those same things that you already saw. Some training courses are actually 100% applicable across the board, no matter what institution you come from. So that's why you might see some repeats as you're going through these rows. So just make sure you're identifying the row that's best for you, and know that whatever trainings are available in that row are the ones that we have specifically helpful for your role in your institution. All right. And lastly, as far as changes go, I just want to show you up here. Some of you like to search by tags. If I click on tags here, these are the different tags that are available to search by. We have Canvas admins, elementary, getting started, Google, HED, higher ed, instructional designers, K-12, and Office 365. Some people see HED and they think, what is that? It's just an acronym for higher education. And don't worry, anything that has this HED tag also has higher education. So it doesn't matter which one you choose, it's going to take you to the courses that are going to be helpful for you. But just so you can quickly see, I'm going to click on elementary, and you'll see that it's going to filter out quickly the things that are available for specifically for elementary. And so these tags are another really quick, fast way for you to find things that are going to be helpful to you as training. So those tags have now been completely updated. They should all be appropriate to what is being learned, and we encourage you to use those tags to search for courses and trainings that pertain to you. So overall, our goal was really to make the training portal as easy to use as possible in order to enhance your Canvas user experience. And so hopefully as you become familiar with this and you use it more, you will see that it has some great features that are helpful for you to learn more. So with the splitting of K-12 and higher ed programs, it was really about, creating something better for you. And that's the training services portal.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate that so much. We've had some questions come in about Free for Teacher from some folks here. And I don't necessarily know if this is something you can answer or not, but I figure I'll throw it out to you because I'm still trying to track it down. But the Free for Teacher side is something obviously we offer. We offer this Free for Teacher version for those out there that kind of want to get their feet wet into Canvas and check it out and use it. But I'm not so sure there's like a student limit on Free for Teacher. Is there? I know they have quota limits and there are file sharing limits and things like that. But I think as long as you don't have, hundreds of students in there, I think you're okay. But I'm not exactly sure on that, which is why I'm trying to track down some folks that might know exactly where that sits. But
we'll definitely have to track down some folks.
Yeah.
For
All right.
that.
All right. I'm doing that now, which is part of this. So we'll try to keep into connection on these YouTube chats and the folks out there that are asking questions. There was a question that are these webinars recorded because there might be a big time difference on where they're watching.
That is a great question. So unfortunately, the webinars are not recorded, which is why they have those on-demand asynchronous courses. So anything that's covered in a webinar, you can actually access in those courses as well.
Got it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Kelly, so much. We appreciate it. We'll stop putting you on the spot for all of these crazy questions we've got coming in on the chat. But we'll try to make sure that folks that have watched today get all the answers they need. As always, if you have questions, make sure you throw them in the comment section. Be sure to like, share, ring the bell, do all of the things. We appreciate Kelly on the training services team for taking your time to be with us today. We are so excited to share what's coming up in 2022 with all of you soon. Thanks for joining another Canvas live stream.
Bye.